sixth indicted Baltimore police officer has reversed his plea in the federal corruption trial that looms.
Yeah, Sergeant Wayne Jenkins has now pleaded guilty for his role in the robbery, extortion, and fraud ring while leading the elite.
Welcome back to Cold Case Chronicles. Today, we're unraveling a shocking story of corruption, deception, and abuse of power within law enforcement. This is the story of Wayne Jenkins, a former police officer in Baltimore who led the city's elite gun trace task force. What started as an anti-gun violence initiative soon became one of the most scandalous cases of police corruption in recent U.S. history. In the early 2000s, Baltimore was a city facing a crisis. Crime, particularly violent crime, was on the rise. Gun violence, fueled by the drug trade, was ravaging communities and putting immense pressure on the Baltimore Police Department. In response, the department formed the Gun Trace Task Force, a specialized unit focused on taking illegal firearms off the streets. At first, this task force appeared to be a much-needed solution to Baltimore's crime problem. Wayne Jenkins joined the Baltimore Police Department in 2003 and quickly climbed the ranks due to his assertive and proactive approach. He gained a reputation for being relentless in his fight against crime, and by 2015 he became one of the leaders of the Gun Trace Task Force. But behind the scenes, Jenkins was leading his team down a dark and dangerous path. What few knew was that Jenkins had transformed the Gun Trace Task Force from an anti-crime unit into a criminal enterprise. Between 2015 and 2017, Jenkins and his team were involved in an array of illegal activities, stealing cash, drugs, and firearms from citizens, fabricating evidence, planting drugs to justify wrongful arrests, and lying under oath. Their actions weren't just criminal. They represented a deep betrayal of the community's trust. Resident 1. It's a betrayal. We trusted them to keep us safe, and they were the ones doing the harm. Resident 2. When you hear stories like this, it just makes you wonder how deep the corruption goes. In 2017, a federal investigation finally exposed the extent of corruption within the task force. Jenkins, who was once seen as a hero in the fight against crime, was revealed to be one of the most corrupt officers. Investigators uncovered that Jenkins had stolen more than $400,000 in cash, resold drugs seized from raids, and even planted evidence on people to secure arrests. As federal investigators delved deeper, they found Jenkins' tactics were more disturbing than anyone had realized. He and his team had planted drugs on suspects, sometimes targeting people who were completely innocent. This abuse of power led to the wrongful arrests of numerous people, leaving families broken and communities outraged. The trial of Wayne Jenkins was intense. Prosecutors charged him with multiple counts of racketeering, robbery, and conspiracy. Victims and their families packed the courtroom, seeking justice for the pain and betrayal Jenkins and his team had caused. In March 2018, Jenkins pleaded guilty to all charges, admitting to everything. The judge sentenced him to 25 years in federal prison, marking a significant victory for accountability, but leaving many to question how this corruption went on for so long. The exposure of Jenkins' actions triggered widespread outrage. Baltimore residents took to the streets demanding meaningful change in the police department. Activists called for increased transparency and accountability, arguing that Jenkins' case was a symptom of a much larger problem within law enforcement. Community activist. This isn't just one bad apple. Jenkins' actions reveal a deeper issue, a system that allowed this corruption to go unchecked. We need reform now. The Gun Trace Task Force scandal shook Baltimore to its core, forcing the city to reevaluate its approach to policing. Since then, the Baltimore Police Department has implemented new policies to increase oversight, improve training, and rebuild trust with the community. But for many, the scars remain, and the fight for justice and accountability is far from over. Wayne Jenkins' story is a powerful reminder of the importance of integrity within law enforcement. While most officers are dedicated to protecting their communities, Jenkins' case shows the devastating consequences when power is abused. The path to meaningful police reform is long, but communities continue to push for the change needed to prevent this kind of betrayal from happening again. If you found this video insightful, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more deep dives into true crime and corruption cases, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What changes would you like to see in law enforcement? Thanks for watching.